So our course code is DIPL ENG3 2012S or the Aviation Technical English 2. This is oral communication. Okay. For our topic this morning, we have speech preparation. Okay. So for our learning objectives, so at the end of the discussion, we will be able to identify and explain the different steps in speech preparation. Number 2, name and explain the different parts or structure of speech. Number 3, give importance of speech preparation. And number 4, differentiate facilitative stage fright and debilitative stage fright. So that is our learning objectives for this morning. Okay, so let us now start. So before we go on further, let's define speech. Okay, actually speech is a God-given faculty which sets apart human beings from animals. That makes us different from animals. We people speak and make use of language in communicating. Okay? Speech is the faculty or power of speaking, an oral communication or ability to express one's thoughts and emotions using speech sounds and gesture. So speech is speaking. It is oral communication so that we can express our thoughts and our emotions as well. Now, another definition here is speech is the act of speaking, expressing and communicating one's thoughts and feelings using spoken words. Now, so in speaking, we make use of what we call verbal communication. So in verbal communication, we make use of words or language, whether we are writing or whether we are speaking. We make use of language. Now, another definition here is speech is the voice and breath shaped into words by the different vocal organs like the tongue, the lips, the teeth, the palate, and the nasal passages. So in speech or speaking, we make use of the different vocal organs. So what are these vocal organs? So our tongue, our lips, our teeth, our palate, and nasal passages. Now, without these vocal organs, we will not be able to speak, okay? Actually, our tongue is the major vocal organs, okay? Now, speech can be, it is oral communication, which can be private or public, okay? Now, what is private oral communication? So private oral communication is an ordinary casual conversation. So when we are talking to someone, maybe to a friend or to your classmates, when we are conversing with our family members, for example, with our family, with our parents, with our mother, with our sisters or siblings, and when we are talking to our classmates, our teachers, so that is private oral communication. Okay, when we are talking to your special someone, that is private oral communication. Now, oral communication can be public. Okay, public oral communication is public speaking. So in here, in public speaking or speech delivery, the speaker public means people, diba? So in public oral communication, you are talking to people or group of people. So for example, when you are hosting a party, when you are giving lectures or seminars, when you deliver a speech before the audience, okay, that is public oral communication. Now, in public speaking or in public oral communication, the speaker can't help but experience stage fright. So we all have this stage fright. Okay, so stage fright is known as communication apprehension or speech anxiety, or afraid of speaking in front of people. So that is stage fright. Now, here in stage fright, the speaker experience nervousness and tension. Okay? I know you have experienced that also. Now, there are two kinds of stage fright. So we have facilitative stage fright and debilitative stage fright. Now, what is facilitative stage fright? In here, the level of tension is moderate. Okay? Meaning to say, the amount of nervousness is natural and can improve performance later on. Okay? So you can facilitate your tension and you can facilitate your nervousness. Whereas the debilitative stage fright, in here, the level of tension is intense. So you cannot, or the speaker cannot overcome the stage fright or the tension until it becomes a serious problem. Okay, so that is debilitative stage fright. So this proper speech preparation prevents presentation predicaments or stage fright. So speech preparation is the most important element to a successful presentation, and also the best way to reduce nervousness and combat fear. Okay, so we have to be prepared when we deliver a speech. Okay, now what is this speech preparation? Now, speech preparation is all about organization of ideas, thoughts, and feelings. So it is a crucial process that we need to be aware of, as it already involves the structure of what to say in front of people. So, so preparation is the key. Okay? So we have to prepare what we want to say in front of people. Now, what are the ultimate speech preparation checklist? So we have here 10 easy and organized steps or ways in preparing a speech. So number one, know your audience. Second, know the occasion. And third, select a topic. And then fourth, select a purpose. What is your purpose? And then number five, gather potential content. And then organize content. Then you are now ready to write your speech. Then number eight, prepare visual aids. Number nine, practice. And then number 10, speech delivery. Now, let's take it one by one. Okay? So we have here, number one, know your audience. Okay? Know your audience. Now, analyze your audience first and foremost. So it is easy to alienate an audience but not examining the characteristics of the group, what they know and what they want to know. So be aware of the attitudes of the audience, their beliefs in general towards you and towards the topic. Now, we have the what we call audience psychology. Okay. I think you have read that audience psychology in your previous lesson. Now, in here, the speaker must know the behavior of the individual audience members to determine how they might respond as a group or to his or her ideas or the ideas of the speaker. Now, the speaker must consider some factors regarding his audience, like the age level of the audience. Are they group of teenagers? Are they group of young adults? Are they group of, shall we say, the young ones, the older one, or the or group of seniors, shall we say like that? And also, they have to consider, or the speaker has to consider the gender preference of the audience. Are they group of male? Are they group of female? Or a combination of male and female? Okay. And then another factor is the occupation of the audience. Another factor is the educational attainment of the audience. Okay. Are they group of students? Are they group of professionals? Okay, are they group of educators or computer specialists? And also, another factor is the interest of the audience. What interests your audience? Their values, their beliefs, and their attitude. So as a speaker, the first step that you must know is your audience. Okay. And then the second one is know the occasion. So what is the occasion? So think carefully about the occasion. Are you a keynote speaker, presenting a paper, introducing a speaker, or chairing a panel? So each situation is different and requires preparation tailored to the occasion. So what is the occasion? Okay, so occasion analysis includes looking at the room size, whether there are there enough chairs for everyone, and then the arrangement of the space. Can the speaker see every member of the audience? And the acoustics. There's nothing more exasperating than having to strain to hear a speaker. So then prepare your speech or presentation accordingly and make sure your message matches the occasion. Okay? And then we have the third step, select a topic. So this is very important. Now, in choosing a topic, it should be interesting in both the speaker and the audience. It should be beneficial. It should be timely and relevant. So it is also a good idea to be more knowledgeable about the subject than your audience. Okay, so if you do not have enthusiasm for the subject matter, neither your audience. Okay, and then also we have the purpose. Select a purpose. So you have already the topic. Then what is your purpose? For this step, determine the general purpose of your speech presentation. Are you informing your audience, presenting or entertaining, stimulating, or persuading your audience? So if you are informing your audience, you are imparting knowledge to them. You give information and details on something. So that is to inform. Now, if your purpose is to entertain is to amuse or give enjoyment to the audience. Okay? To stimulate means to arouse the emotion of the audience. Okay? So when you have this purpose to stimulate, the best example of this is when you are giving a retreat, or when you are conducting what do you call this, internalization to your audience. Okay, and then to persuade To persuade is to convince your audience. Okay, so select a purpose. What is your general purpose in your speech presentation? Okay, so number 5 step in preparing your speech is gather potential content. Okay, so you can now gather information about your topic by means of printed resources, by means of conducting interviews, discussion with expert person, and also based on your own experience. Now, printed resources includes books, newspapers, magazines, or you can consult Mr. Google, okay, for printed sources or resources. For interviews and discussion, you can have people who specializes on your topic, okay? So, and also you can make use of your own experience as well. Now, now you are now ready to organize the content of your speech. So effective speech contains basic parts or structure. Now it should have introduction, it should have body, and it should have conclusion. Now follow the standard organizational format of introduction, body, and conclusion, which translates into the standard public speaking formula. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you've told them. Okay? Now, let's discuss the 3 parts of a speech. Okay? A speech material should have an introduction. Okay? So, introduction, as we all know, is the beginning of the speech composition. Okay? So, which aims to get the attention of the audience, that stimulates them to keep on listening. Okay? So, it is very important to get the attention of the audience, okay, by means of your introduction. Now, how? The question is how. Speech introduction commonly starts or commences using the following. You can start your speech by writing a quotation. You can start your speech by a question, an anecdote or story. You can start it by a joke. You can start it by an example. You can start it by analogy and comparison, and also by definition. Okay, so for example, your speech is about love. Okay, so you are a speaker and you are invited to be a speaker on Valentine's Day. So your topic is, it matches the occasion. So it's all about love. Okay, so how do you start? So you can start by a quotation. For example, you can start it by stating, love is a many splendored thing. Okay, or love is like a rosary full of mystery. Okay, make sure that the quotation matches the topic. Okay, or you can start it by a question, asking question. Probably you can start by saying, have you been in love? Or you can start by saying, who are in love right now? Okay, so you can also start by saying or telling an anecdote or story about your own experience about love, because anecdote is a story based on your experience. Okay, or you can probably start by saying a joke about love. So that is introduction. Okay, so moving on, the next part of the speech. So you now have already the introduction. you are now ready to have the body of the speech. Now, the body of the speech is the bulk of the speech, which presents facts, materials, or issues to support the content of the speech. So, body of the speech is the main part of the speech composition, which is commonly referred to as the substance of the speech. Now, the body of the speech is generally segmented into a series of main points that speaker wants to make or wants to say. So for a speech that is less than 10 minutes or long, it is recommended to have more than 2 or 3 main points because the audience will recall those points at the conclusion of the speech. Now, when the speaker lacks clear organization with 2 or 3 main points, the audience gets lost just trying to figure out what the speaker is talking about. Okay? So the body of the speech, excuse me, is the substance of the speech. Okay? In here, the speaker will express what he wants to say. Okay? Now, the third part of the speech is the conclusion. So we all know that the conclusion is the ending or the conclusionary part of the speech. So if there is a beginning, then there is an end. Now, don't let your audience hang with your speech. There should be a conclusion. There should be a conclusionary part of the speech. Okay? And a good conclusion is such that it lingers in your listeners' minds long after the speaker have finished the speech. It should be definite and it should indicate to the listeners that the speaker is at close. It should wind up the thoughts of the listeners. Now, what are the techniques in concluding a speech? Okay, so I have here techniques. So maybe you are asking, how can I conclude my speech? How can I end my speech? So you can end it by recapitulation or summary. You summarize what you say. You recapitulate, okay? And then you can also challenge your audience. For example, can we do it? Okay. You have to challenge the audience and then appeal to action. You can end it also by a concluding statement. It's up to you how you conclude your speech depending upon your topic. You can also end it by a quotation, just like the introduction. Okay. You can also end it by question, personal intention, and you can also end it by a prayer. So those are the 3 main parts of a speech material. Again, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Okay. Now, the 7th step in preparing a speech is write the speech. So you are now have the materials. Okay. So in writing the speech, outlining is used. Okay. So outline is the blueprint of the speech. An outline of your speech is like the steel frame of a building under construction. So if the frame is not structurally sound, the building will collapse. But no one really wants to live in an open steel structure. So for this reason, once you've finished creating the basic structure of your speech, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion, it's time to start putting the rest of the speech together or build walls, floors, and ceilings to create a completed building. So you are now ready to write your speech, okay, based on your outline, okay? Now, after writing the speech, now in writing a speech, You have the initial draft, you have to edit it, you have to revise it, you have to write the final draft. Okay, and then the number eight, after writing your speech, you have now already the speech. You are now ready to prepare visual aids. Okay, visual aids, if appropriate for your speech or presentation, can help your audience remember your points and clarify information. Now, what are these visual aids? Visual aids, an element is defined as an element of illustrative matter such as film, slide. It could be film, it could be slide, or model, pictures, and PowerPoint presentation designed to supplement written or spoken information so that it can be understood more easily. Okay? Now, using visual aids can add to the length of a talk and can cause you to become flustered if you run into difficulties. Additionally, if you have audience handouts, okay, you can make use also of handouts, distribute them at the end of your talk if possible. An audience attention can shift easily to a handout instead of staying focused on you. So what I'm trying to say is that if visual aids are necessary, then for your speech, then prepare your visual materials. If not, it's okay. And then the next step is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practicing your presentation or speech contributes directly to your success as a speaker. So you have to practice yourself. Okay, as you practice, consider both your verbal and nonverbal delivery. Okay, vocal delivery includes volume, rate, pitch. Eye contact with your audience is also crucial. And this means actually looking at audience members. Okay, as for posture, don't slouch and avoid shifting your weight from one foot to another. Or from one foot to another foot. Also, movement is fine, but only if it is controlled. Okay? Gesturing is an important element to your talk, but only if it is controlled as well. So many speakers indicate on note cards when to gesture or move in order to reinforce a point. So these are the tips, okay, when you practice delivering your speech. Okay, and then another one, practice is important because it allows you to see and experience different parts before you actually deliver the total speech to the audience. Rehearsal is important because you can put the effective parts back together to create a total speech and practice before delivering it in front of the actual audience. Okay? Now, the last one in preparing a speech is speech delivery. You are now ready to deliver your speech. Now, speech delivery is an effective medium of putting words into action, which consists of words, voice, facial expressions, gestures, postures, and movements united into a single pattern of expression. Now, class, this speech delivery is our lesson on our next virtual class next week. So after preparing a speech, we are now ready to deliver our speech, which we will be discussed next week. Okay? Now, try to remember that real speech preparation means digging something out of yourself. You have to gather facts and arrange your thoughts. As you collect the ideas, you have to nurture your ideas and think about a unique way to express them in an organized manner. Now, a speech needs time to grow. Okay? So, to summarize our discussion this morning, we have the steps in speech preparation. Number one, know your audience. Number two, know the occasion and then select a topic. After selecting a topic, you have to know your purpose. What is your purpose? And then after that, you are now ready to gather potential content of your speech. It can be on the printed matter or on a resource speaker. And then organize content and then write the speech. In organizing and writing the speech, consider the introduction, the body of the speech, and the conclusion. And then after writing the speech, you are now ready to prepare your visual materials. And then after preparing the visual materials, practice, and then you are so that you are ready for the speech delivery. Okay? So what else can I say, my dear students? That concludes our discussion for this morning. Thank you for attending our virtual class. Keep safe, everyone, and God bless us all. Thank you.